against the Castleford Tigers. But John Keir has seen his men battle and scrap for their lives in the opening 40 minutes. And Steve, I'm with Phil Clark. Half-time has come at the wrong time for the Wildcats. He would have said, look, let's turn around and get going.
Without a doubt, because Bradford, they were out on their feet, mentally and physically. The one thing I'm just wary of, and I'm sure John Keir has enough experience to say to the Wakefield players, we cannot just shut down, close shop. We have to be adventurous. We have to try to get another 6 points on the board. It is so important. Bradford, their pride alone, remember, they hold the trophy. They're not going to just throw it away. They've got to show some form to go into the playoffs. Otherwise, they'll be called easy meats.
And when they get into the playoffs, they'll be trying to get to Old Trafford from fourth, something that no team has ever done before. They did it last year from third and won it. They created history, and they'll have to rewrite the history books again this year if they're going to retain the trophy. What about the ball from Tadulala? And
what
that
about
was
the
a
ankle tap?
Very important ankle tap by Ben Harris. Jeffries.
Boy, he was away.
This is Dimitriou.
Watch this. Harris just gets to him. It would have been under the post. Good night.
Matt Cook with the tackle, helped out by Terry Newton. That was on Duncan McGilvray. Oh, they're offloading the ball. They've got some confidence. It's 6 to go for Wakefield here.
Oh, they've lost it.
And that's a knock on the other way.
Well, he cannot believe it. Dimitriou just looked, and he had the chance, back to 6. They could apply the pressure, done a good kick into the corner.
Steve, you'll be able to tell how Bradford are going to perform this second half, whether they're direct and they've got go forward. If they don't have that, they'll be lambs to slaughter. They must be direct and have aggressive go forward, something they've lacked all season with inconsistency, especially now Fielden's gone.
Well,
on halfway, Bradford.
You mentioned Fielden. It's now up to the likes of Andy Lynch to really get them over the halfway line and the advantage line.
Lynch played the ball there to Newton. This now is Brett Ferris. Tavita Latu with the tackle, helped out by James Evans. Last one here for Bradford. Deacon hoists the kick, and there's a tester here, but it's well claimed by Colm Halpenny. He had the deadly duo coming at him then, Shontaine Harpy and Leslie Vinacolo. Here is Jason Dimitriou. A bit like Batman and Robin, aren't they? Vinacolo and Harpy for the Bradford Bulls.
I think I'd have Robin coming at me rather than Batman.
Henderson for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. Plays the ball to Semi Tadulala. The Wildcats have had spectacularly close shaves with relegation in the past. 2001, 2002, they had to win on the last day to survive. They might have to do that in 2006. They did it at Salford in 2001. They did it at home to Warrington in 2002. Then Jeffries was the kick down the middle there. Let's get the half-time news from Bill.
Eddie, was a very stern-looking Steve McNamara who came out of the Bulls dressing room at the end of half-time. I think dumb was the word used during what was probably a fairly fierce half-time team talk.
This is a big call from Steve Ganson. He said that Ben Harris has obstructed again for the second time.
Wow, that is one big call by the official. I really think he's been badly done to there. That is extremely pedantic. They can't believe it. Vinacolo said, I'm not giving you the ball. I can't believe that we give it. He shakes his head as Ben Harris.
Well, this is very important for Jamie Rooney in Wakefield. This for a 20 points to 6 scoreline, and 20 points to 6 it is.
Well, last week we pointed out that 15 of the Bradford squad have got grand final experience. This is when you need experience. Their season could disintegrate tonight, losing last week heavily at Wigan. behind you now on the scoreboard. You need your experienced players really now to stand up, to verbally direct the side and show through their actions as well that they are still serious contenders in 2006, and they can get back into this game by doing the right little things.
14 points the gap. Let's go back down to Bill on the side.
I don't know when Steve McNamara used the word dumb, whether that applied to that decision or to Ben Harris's action, but that's probably another example of the sort of thing that infuriated the Bulls coach in that first 40 minutes, and he hopes to see less of in the second half. But they really are going to have to up their game and match Wakefield's enthusiasm, which is the other area where they've been found wanting. Out enthused, to use the old cliche. That would seem to be the Bulls' problem. Wakefield coach John Keir, of course, delighted with the way his side have responded. They were a bit shaky for the first 15 minutes, he acknowledges, but they certainly got their act together, and they really are running very strongly at the moment. They will have to do that, though, by the sound of things, without Ryan Atkins. Picked up an ankle injury in that first half. He's unlikely to return for the Wildcats.
And that's a big mistake by Wakefield. It wasn't Rooney, I think, who got the kick in. It was Duncan McGilvray. His kick sailed out on the fall after Wakefield got themselves in an awful tangle. And now they have to defend this raid from the Bradford Bulls.
Silly play there. Wakefield really should have just got someone in a good position. It is vital. It also shows you that Wakefield are being a little bit cautious. They are waiting till the last to kick. On 4 occasions in the first half, John Keir had told his side to kick the ball on the 4th, not wait until the last.
And the ball came out there somehow from Andy Lynch. The referee said play on. This is Terry Newton. And there's the half-time score at Salford, 14-8. It has been half-time for a while, by the way. Remember, they kicked off about 10-15 minutes late at the Willows, crowd congestion. So they're running a bit behind us here. This, meanwhile, is Justin Harris. Last tackle, and Ben Harris feeds the pass to Terry Newton. Forward. It was the referee. Referee saw it. It's the handover.
Well, they're losing the plot here. A man of so much experience as Terry Newton knew the man was in front of him. And where was the kicker? It should have been into the in-goal area. Just basics. Plenty of time left over here.
At this level, that is cruel by both teams not to understand what the game and the concepts are, and that's to get to a kick, apply pressure. Both teams have been poor, both teams' completion rate's been poor. That's why at the moment the team that becomes direct and utilises around the rucks will dominate.
Here's Solomona, Wakefield's go-to man all the time. He gets the ball away somehow. Tadjalala is hauled down. Gets to his feet eventually. There's little Sam Obst to Ben Jeffries. Back it goes to David March. One club man, David March. This is his only club. This is his testimonial year. He's Wakefield's longest serving player on halfway.
He was lucky there, David March. He tried to offload and just recovered it before it hit the ground. Good take.
Very good take by Michael Withers. Jason Demetriou waited the moment. If I had to be churlish, Steve-O, and talk about this Wakefield Trinity lineup tonight, do you know there are only 3 of the 17 in the squad that have been produced in the British game, by the British game? Atkins, Rooney and March off the bench. The rest are all foreigners.
SAD.
Very sad, and maybe that's the root cause of Great Britain's international problems.
Has been for quite some time.
And when we talk about Bradford, by the way, the champions have got 9 of their 17 who aren't eligible for Great Britain either. We've got 23 foreigners out of 34 players on show tonight.
Well, that's been a change. 20 years ago it was the complete way around, wasn't it? Anyway, that's 20 years. What will it be like in another 10?
Oh, the ball has bounced for Harris. He's got it to Withers. It's a second try for Withers, and the referee, I think, will give this. He does. Bradford are hunting. They're back in the match. Wakefield should never have allowed that ball to bounce. Nobody seemed keen to go for it. It was high and it was hanging, and in the end Harris was first to react. Withers was there in support, and Bradford are back in the hunt.
A carbon copy of what happened in the first half, only the other way around. It was Bradford that was standing around and allowed it to bounce, and it bounced perfectly for Justin Harris, and the fullback gleefully accepts that. Well, sometimes you need the luck. We saw that a couple of occasions in the first 40. He turns it to 6. The says Deacon, it's game on, and nerves will start to jangle now.
Bradford 12, Wakefield 20. Michael Withers with his second try of the match. As I said in the first half, the Irish international, 30 years of age, but yet to sign a new deal with Bradford for next season. The man of the match in the 2001 Grand Final against Wigan with 3 tries. And John Keir is a little nervous again, but there's just a little smile still on the face because he knows he's got an 8-point cushion. But boy, there is a nervous half hour ahead of him.
You'd be nervous if you've been a Wakefield fan, though. Second half performances this season haven't been good. They've lost on so many occasions, and they will have to play better than the Bulls, and I think score more points in the remaining half an hour. 8 points is nowhere near enough to win this game.
No, not with the crowd behind Bradford as they are now, not with Bradford getting ahead of steam up. Here is Deacon, who'll slide the kick down the touchline again.
Good
Halfpenny
tactic.
is after this.
Kicking early on the 3rd on this occasion. Get the good chase, apply that pressure, something that they have failed to do for long periods throughout this game with the Bulls. But they're up for it now. It's amazing what a try can do to your side. And it's amazing what it can do to the crowd. They were booing the Bradford side off at half-time. All changes.
Bradford piling in the tackle. That was Adam Watine. This is Michael Korkidas. 4 tackles gone. Great set of 6 here from the champions. Obst to David March. He'll carry it forward willingly, but he runs into Matt Cook, he runs into Terry Newton and Joe Vanganar.
I think the Wildcats are either nervous or tired, Ian, because there's not many players supporting the ball carrier. The chase on this kick really is one player here, one player there. They look flat.
I think they've put a lot of energy into this game, Phil. I think they've got to minimise the opportunity Bradford have with the ball, and I think that's the big key here, what they do with the ball and how they complete their sets. They do look tired, but don't forget that they've had a lot of mental stress leading up the game and during it.
It'll be adrenaline now that will take Wakefield through the next 28 and a half minutes or so. The ball is lost.
I think Bradford feel that there's an opportunity to get the ball out wide.
No, Shontaine Harpy. My apologies to Chris McKenna. Shontaine Harpy with the knock on.
No doubt about it. Maybe a little bit of a help, but it doesn't matter. It's up to the guy carrying it. It's his responsibility. Boy, this is a nervous game, isn't it?
But if we talk about how Wakefield can solve it, we don't want Solomona to solve it. You know, their best strike player. If you pick 2 hookers on your bench in Mark and Latu, you've got to use them, and around the rucks, use your little people to dominate the big Bradford forwards. Don't rely on your strike player, Solomona. Use him as a strike player, not as a workhorse.
Has it surprised you, Ian, that they have not pinpointed the Wakefield dummy half? They haven't hardly run from that position throughout this game.
No, I think they've got a couple of players there. What I liked earlier when they moved Solomona around the park on the left side, the right side, and the middle. At the moment, he's only sitting on the left, and he's very much noticed there. Move him around, make him a strike.
Good position here for Wakefield. They'll have to see out this set of 6. The kick needs to be good, and it isn't. It's poor. It's straight into the arms of Leslie Vinacolo, and you don't give big Leslie the possession.
Put it on the ground. It can go anywhere. Just punch it right into it. That's a good offload by the youngster.
It is Matt Cook to Deacon. By Deacon. It comes wide here to Carl Price. Danger here for the Wildcats. Hauled down, though, by Henderson. Awful play, the ball. Gistin Harris. Over the top from Harris. Knocked on by Ian Henderson. Play on, says the referee. Contentious. Harpy. To the touch judge. Leslie Vinacolo had moved off his line. Wakefield breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Well, it certainly went backwards. Henderson did well to retrieve it. Not the best pass.
And that was a knock-on.
Well, it was far too strong. Well, no, I think it went behind him, Eddie. Either way, Wakefield will get the possession. God's behind him. Definitely.
Doesn't matter now. This is Solomona. This is Demetriou at dummy half. Jason Demetriou, who has been just about ever present in this side this year. This is Adam Watine.
He'll put some spark into the play. now they're getting to the point where they've got to organise themselves to make sure that they get a good kick and chase. It's all about turning this big Bradford side around.
It's Jamie Rooney, halted by Paul Deacon and Matt Cook. That's the last one.
Who's going to take responsibility?
Obst finds Jeffries. He'll put the kick in, looking for Tajulala, but it is well claimed by Marcus Bai.
Beautiful kick. Both went 50-50.
Sixth in a row for Marcus Bai on the wing. 56 tries from Bai in 84 games in the past 3 years with the Leeds Rhinos and here at Bradford.
Good work from Justin Harris. Good play the ball. Very quick now. They've upped the tempo of the Bradford side. This is where they've got to get the link on. On the fourth, play the ball.
Henderson finds Banganar, up the middle he goes. Big Joe halted on tackle number 5, only just over halfway, 5 metres. They'll find Deacon. Deacon with the kick, slides it in behind the defence. Colm Halpenny will have to pick it up, and does. Vainicolo was coming down on him.
Oh, he could have been penalised there. He just thought about it, did Shontaine Harpy of picking the man up after he'd been stopped. That would have been a vital penalty to be given away.
Great defence here from Bradford, right on the Wakefield line. Obst to Halpenny. 3 tackles gone. They're finding it difficult to make the yards.
This has all the hallmarks of a typical Bradford try. They trap their opponents deep, they work double time in defence, and when they pick up possession shortly, they'll then build them out for a try. This is what Bradford have done over the last 5 years. They have taken them to 5 grand finals. Can they do it again right now when they need it?
The kick here from Jeffries has to be good, and it finds the ground, but it also finds Marcus Bai. And how enthusiastic is the chase? Not bad, to be fair. Not when Marcus Bai is running at you at something like 20 miles, 30 miles an hour.
Good work by David March, but I suspected a few of the Wakefield players weren't as quick as they were in that first half.
Leslie Vainicolo. Danger for any team when Vainicolo has ball in hand. Remember, Castleford leading at Salford. Here, Wakefield leading at Bradford. Harlequins can feel the ice breaking beneath their feet at the bottom of the table. They play Wigan on Sunday. This is Brett Ferris.
Offloads. Wakefield have to stop the offloads, Eddie.
This is Henderson. Great pass. Offload from Harris to Brett Ferris. Ferris with the kick over the top. Work to do here. And Demetriou does brilliantly. Absolutely magnificent.
Take a bow. What a wonderful effort from the winger. That could be the difference between winning and losing tonight.
What an effort from Jason Demetriou.
He beat 4.
And if this doesn't lift your teammates, nothing will.
Incredible.
Knock on as we watch this.
Bradford, they'll continue
knocking on.
to build that pressure there now. They'll let him out, but the rest of them won't get out of this danger zone. As we see the handling out by Tajulala, drops it, trying to get up and play the ball.
I'm not so sure he dropped it. I thought there was a lazy arm being pulled away, and I'm sure he agrees with me.
Big moment coming up here. No, there's no arm there. Tajulala with the mistake.
Now watch for the pickup from the base of the scrum.
Deacon from the base of the scrum finds Justin Harris. Harris trying to go through the gap. Halted by the tackle. Halpenny and Evans plays the ball to Shontaine Harpy. And Shontaine Harpy is repelled by 3. Henderson. Henderson finds Deacon. Deacon on the inside to Brad Myers. Myers too big, but not strong enough. Halpenny underneath him.
Nearly lost it as well. Sam Ops nearly just took that football. Oh, it's going to be a penalty.
And he could be in the sin bin. He says he's hurt.
Should be
David March is hurt. David March is staggering around. This is Harpy. Shontaine Harpy. Well, David March is in all sorts of strife, and there's a massive hole here for Bradford to exploit.
He's just a passenger March, and that's good refereeing. That is an injury, and it's obvious that the lad is injured he's had a knock on the head. You see there, caught the hip definitely caught the hip.
Come on, check him out.
Steve-O, Phil asked the question earlier about wear and tear and energy levels of both teams. Have a look at the first three rucks when they received the ball from a kick return. At the moment, Bradford are making double yardage on their first three rucks in relation to the Wakefield team. And that's the difference at the moment. The momentum they're getting on early rucks, Bradford, is causing them to dominate field position now.
Well, David March does not want to come off. He's been sorted, but I don't know how. He stands up to the tackle again there, and he's involved in it. I think that's just purely instinct as he brought Vangenaar down. Ball back on the inside, Withers on a hat-trick. Michael Withers hauled down by March again. It's with Deacon. Deacon wide, and Ben Harris is brought down on tackle number 5. Can Wakefield survive this? Carl Price, Deacon will hoist the kick wide, looking for Big Leslie by Nicolo. It's claimed in the in-goal area by Dimitriou.
Tremendous stuff. Good quick play. It'll be penalised here.
He's in the bin for 10. He's in the bin for 10 minutes, Ian Henderson.
Stupid play. Why on earth he wanted to do that? At a time when your team needs as much concentration as possible, he just loses it. Just pushes Sam Ops out of the way. Get out of the way. How stupid is that?
Steve, every player and every coach at the start of the year in Super League was informed that if you interfere with a 20-metre restart, you can't come up with a poor skill and kick the ball over the in-goal area, then slow the play down. That is instant 10 minutes. Great to see Ganson abide by that.
But shouldn't that have been a penalty if he'd put someone in the bin for a professional foul? That's surely a penalty to Wakefield, isn't it?
You've got me, Eddie.
Should have been.
Right.
Of course he was.
Well, it's a 20-metre restart. Anyway, Wakefield aren't complaining. Bradford are down to 12 men again.
Well, they need to play at them. They need to play at it, play attack, because in the last 10 minutes been a nervous.
They've got a penalty here. Matt Cook was over the top and high.
Well, they're just exploding.
McGilvray
at the wrong moment. And they'll push this into the corner. Pretty sour-faced look on Steve McNamara.
You know, it was interesting. All the players looked at Dave Solomon. They said, "What we do, Dave?" And he said, "I love the ball in my hands." He said, "Kick it out." All the other players are looking for the 2. That probably tells you a little bit about the way Dave loves to play the game.
Here is Monty Beetham, the captain for Wakefield.
I think he also wants to give the impression to Bradford that they're not out of it. They want to keep going for it.
Knock on against Monty Beetham, who is claiming that the ball was stolen 2-on-1 in the tackle. And he may have a case. He may have a case. Look at Harris.
Oh, without a doubt, that's a pull. That is a steal.
What's the linesman doing in that? Does he get some feedback there? No, we keep blaming the referee, but he does have other people to help him.
Why doesn't the 4th official help him now? He's seen the picture.
Ian's right. The touch judge should be helping out. He's come up with some unusual decisions tonight for Steve Ganson.
I know officially...
He hasn't been helped by his touch judge.
I know officially the 4th official can't get involved, but don't we all believe they do and are? I probably mean the video ref, not the 4th official.
This is getting to the point now, Eddie, where someone is going to lose the plot completely and just start swinging. The tension is immense.
18 minutes to go. 8 points the difference here. Wakefield fighting for their lives, and 14 all at the Willows. Salford fighting back. And Yistin Harris trapped on the last. Knock on, it's a handover.
It's sheer panic out there, both sides. You'd think that Bradford was in the relegation zone as well.
There isn't panic in the Wakefield team. They're the one that's winning this battle at the moment. It's the Bradford team. You mentioned earlier about how many blokes have been in grand finals at Old Trafford. They don't look at it at the moment. They're the ones who are trying to solve it in one ruck.
Can Wakefield pull off the great escape? We've heard the Wigan supporters whistling that famous signature tune this year. Are Wakefield going to take it up as their signature tune over the next 7 days?
No, I think they'll be looking for the motorbike because they need it. They've got that 8 points and it's going to be very desperate because it is a big fence to climb over. But if Bradford keep shooting themselves in the foot, Now then, will they go for the one?
Keep coming.
John Keir often favours it.
He is obst. I think they're more concerned with the 4 at the moment.
I'd go for it. Jeffries is there.
And Jeffries is there. But no, they're going wide and they find Rooney, who slides the kick in. Oh, and they're going to get a repeat set of 6 because James Evans was hunting and Leslie Vinacolo did ever so well.
He had to as well. Beautiful dink through. Was he in front? Doesn't matter. They get it. Oh boy.
Small in number, the Wakefield fans.
What
They've
a
turned
game.
out here tonight, though, I must say. And I only hope that if it does... Oh, they've not... They've somehow managed to keep the ball in play, McGilvray.
Well, McGilvray went backwards and everyone thought he'd actually touched the whitewash.
This is Demetriou.
I'd be going
Lost
for the
the
one,
ball.
he's lost it. Well, just as I was saying, I'd be going for the one.
But why would you want to go for the one with an 8-point lead, Steve-O? It means nothing.
It means an extra point, and you slow things down. It's panic.
Yeah, but you give
pandemonium.
up field position. Don't give up field position. You're going to come up with an error, come up in the opposition half. At least you can control your defence in. I'll disagree with the 1 point.
I think if it's 12, I think you would go for 1 point. If it was 6, you'd definitely go for 1 point.
Listen, we were arguing early in the piece, why would they go for the 2? They should apply the pressure, and it's proved because they've got that 8 points lead.
There's trouble here. Carl Price, Marcus Bai, halted. Good defence. Ben Jeffries, Tadulala this near side. Carl Price on halfway, finds Deacon. In turn finds Ben Harris. That's the last.
Wakefield fans must be wondering, where was this defence early in the season?
Well, John Keir's arrived, Steve-O.
Well, to correct you, in round 1 they lost by 20 points to 14 to Bradford. It was 3 tries all, and only goal kicking made the difference. So there wasn't a lot between these sides at the start of the season, and there isn't a lot tonight.
Absolutely, but they've conceded 107 tries in 22 rounds before John Keir arrived. They've shipped in only 10 in the 4 games that he has been in charge, plus what they've conceded tonight.
He's done a tremendous job, and he could still be doing a tremendous job. Does he want to be Lord Mayor of Wakefield? It's there.
Mind you, by the way, glad to see on the news wraps this week that Tony Smith is back in the game, the ex-Wakefield coach. He's taking over the England under-17s, and that's great news that one of the best young British coaches has returned to the game after what must have been a horrific experience he had at Wakefield earlier this year. Good to see Tony Smith back. And Carl Price had a snatch at that.
It was 1-on-1, it's back to 6. Oh, this is getting very tasty indeed. He was trying to go for the ball. Maybe there was a hint of a grapple tackle there, but this is playing into the hands of Wakefield. You can see they're getting out of the line. They just want to belt these Wakefield players. Don't be surprised if they give away a silly penalty, Bradford.
14 minutes remaining here at the Grattan Stadium, Odsal.
Knock on.
This is the way it looks at the moment.
Okay.
Here they come, Wakefield. A kick down the line looking for James Evans. Oh, an important tackle from Michael Withers. John Keir saw the promised land of Super League in 2007 for a moment, and suddenly here it flashed away from him.
Great tackle there by Michael Withers. It had to be as well. Evans was there for the glory. John Keir, oh, so near. But what about the build-up to that? Steve Ganson didn't know how the ball had come out. He got no help from the touch judge and just said, well, let's play on.
Well, he got no signal, that's why he played on. But I think the big thing was John was so upset. We were all taught in rugby league to draw and pass, and he had 2 support players on the outside. He wanted him to commit a Bradford player and finish it off that way, not with a kick.
Let's get news of groggy David March. Bill.
Still groggy. It's a night for heroes out there for Wakefield, and certainly David March was that when he really didn't know what day of the week it was, and he was still making tackles out there, putting his body on the line, but he's got a thumping headache. That, thankfully, is just about it, and he might be able to return.
David March, if you cut him open, there would be Wakefield written right the way through him, and Myers has dropped the ball.
What defence. Bang. Watine got the shoulder underneath the ball-carrying arm.
Bradford are in a lot of trouble, aren't they, in 2006?
You've talked a lot about here with the improvement with John Keir. I think the big word you've probably looked at, improves experience, and nothing against Tony Smith, he'll learn from experience, is attitude. Their attitude in defence. Sometimes you can be very attacking in attack, but you can also be attack in defence, and their attitude's been very good.
Oh, nearly a break then from Henderson. It's still a break. Well, he shouted first, the referee, and then Henderson was clattered by McKenna. Here goes Tadulala again. Time is suddenly against Bradford. There are 12 minutes remaining, and it's Wakefield in possession here. Sam Obst is the dummy half. He'll flick it, and it will come off the head, and it will drop for Leslie Vainicolo, and somehow they got back again.
Oh, John Keir will be furious. Not the best kick. It should have been played onto the ground, not up in the air. It came off the head of the big fella. Tension builds.
Mr. Ganson got a round of applause then from every corner of this ground from the Bradford fans, because he gave them the penalty. This is Lynch, halted by Obst. Plays the ball to Newton. Here is Brad Myers. A big 4 tackles remaining here for Wakefield. It is with Yestin Harris. Marcus Pai wants it fed wide. It's coming his way. They've given it to Carl Price. The big youngster is brought down. Newton. Harris drops the shoulder. Attacks the line. Korkidas stands. Castleford have hit the lead again at Salford. This is Newton. Here is Deacon. Deacon, back it goes. This is Shontaine Harpy.
What a tackle! Rooney's tackle!
Jamie Rooney. It was forward anyway, says the referee.
What an effort from Rooney. Have a look at this. Nothing wrong with the pass.
Well, the referee has given a forward pass. I think it was Yestin Harris who asked the question why, and the referee has now penalised him for dissent.
Nothing wrong with the pass, but take nothing away from Rooney. Wrapped up Brad Myers.
Don't think it was Yestin Harris, by the way, who questioned the decision. It was Terry Newton.
Well, he got it wrong, to be fair, because there was nothing wrong with the pass. And in times like this, in sheer frustration, we're getting to that point now where the kicking game will be so important for Wakefield.
10 minutes to go.
They're out on their feet. It has been an absolutely marvellous defensive effort from the Wildcats tonight.
Have they got 9 3/4 more minutes left in them? Obst beat them.
They can't make any ground with the ball. That's a problem for them. In fact, on the last play, they actually lost 5 metres. Somehow they've got to get forward, get down to the other end of the field. I don't think they can survive 10 minutes inside their own half, Eddie.
This is Korkidas. They're nearly up to halfway on tackle number 4.
This is where Jamie Rooney and Ben Jeffries have to
knock on by Korkidas.
Oh no! Well, if John Keir had any hair, I'm sure it would have gone grey. Look at that. A tired body. That's what brought about the error.
Bradford have the feed from the scrum. Here is Yestin Harris. This is Carl Price. A man mountain, Carl Price, at just 20 years of age. Another Bradford player yet to sign on for next season. Here's Marcus Pai. Wrestled to the ground. And Henderson was hurt, but he carried on. The ball bounces its way into the arms of Ian Henderson. He's stopped by Obst and then finished off by Korkidas, but it's a grapple tackle. Well, it's a knock-on by Korkidas, and now it's a grapple tackle. And here is Henderson again. Bradford are grinding their way towards that Wakefield line. With Newton, here is McKenna. Can Wakefield stand this onslaught? Newton waits, just a couple of metres away. Long pass, they've lost it. Myers loses it forward, and Wakefield again breathe a sigh of relief, and McNamara, the coach of Bradford, is frustrated once more. He's doing his best to keep his lid on his emotions.
That was a very poor pass from an experienced player like Terry Newton. You could see there that Myers had to lift and jump up into the air to try to get to that football. Time is ticking away.
8 minutes.
And 8 points.
Come on. Pack up.
Well,
They
Wakefield
can get
with
to the
no
last
hurry.
tackle, Eddie. They can get to the last tackle and kick the ball downfield. They've got some excellent long kickers. Chases all their lives and the livelihoods depend on it. They'll win this game. But look, they're going backwards.
Ball is shot out from the scrum. That was grounded by Tajalala, wasn't it? It was.
Knock on.
It was grounded behind his own line by Tajalala, and it's a goal line dropout.
Certainly had a fingertip on it. Great push by Bradford, sheer desperation. Was he?
It was a knock-on. He said it was a knock-on.
Ian, I think that if Bradford score once, they'll score twice and win this game.
I'm certain they will, and I was thinking about the last tackle. Are they better off running the ball into touch, Wakefield, and getting their defensive line set? Because it's been the first 3 rucks of momentum by Bradford, which is starting to cruel. It's just the completion rate which has been poor from Bradford. Otherwise, they should have chalked up some points.
Well, here they come again. They've laid siege to this Wakefield line for the last few minutes. Terry Newton, Paul Deacon, Euston Harris. It's Carl Price again, halted by Tajalala once more, and Ben Jeffries. Ian Henderson tries to go through Korkidas. The ball was nearly lost, but it went backwards and McKenna held on. This is Newton, this is Deacon, and Deacon with the ball to Vangadar, and he's held up by little Sam Obston-Evans, and Korkidas was there again. Last tackle for Bradford. Back it comes to Deacon. Oh! It's going to be Wakefield's night. You have to think it's going to be Wakefield's night, and I think Steve McNamara agrees.
Just at the right moment. They needed a good pass. He took his eyes off it. Again, it was pretty high.
Well, things like that, you have to believe, and Wakefield, to be fair, have believed from minute 1. And here we are, minute 74, 6 minutes remaining.
They've been the better side. They deserve to win.
Can John Keir do it again, Phil?
Well, I think if Canada can win this one, they will go into the last game with more momentum than anybody else. And I think that hunger, that the momentum they'll get from here tonight, will just make them a really difficult team to play against in the final round. They're not out of it yet, though.
They're not. They're midway inside their own half. Wakefield, they have to get a good kick in. It's high, it's long, but Withers is underneath it. Back they come again, Bradford. Another good tackle, this time by Henderson and Tajalala. Dave Hatfield, pick as a man of the match if you can.
Well, we've come to a few conclusions up here. Andy Lynch and Michael Withers have been the Bradford players who stood out for us. For Wakefield, I think it's Ned Catchis who probably had his best game for the club. David Solomon has not been in the game all that much. Whenever he has been, something special has happened. The man we've gone for, he's epitomised the attitude of Wakefield tonight, and that run from behind his own try line was a key moment. A man of the match tonight, Jason Demetriou.
Well, Jason Demetriou gets the Man of the Match award in the Gillette Sports Pack, but will Wakefield get the 2 points that they came to Bradford for? There's the Man of the Match, and he's got 5 minutes to play. And they are still sweating, of course, on Castleford. And that's bravery from Tajalala. This win for Wakefield tonight still might not be good enough.
Well, he certainly got crunched to the winger. But
Salford are in front against Castleford. We're just getting the news through. We're waiting confirmation. Salford in front against Castleford. Wakefield hanging on here. It's coming down to the wire. It's going to be Wakefield-Castleford to decide who takes the dip. Harlequins aren't out of it yet. Huddersfield aren't out of it yet. 18-16, I understand, at the Willows to Salford. 18-16, 8 minutes left there. Wakefield ahead by 8, and 4 minutes and counting here at Odsal. They've got to get a good kick in again. Jeffries long and down the middle. It will bounce. It will give them a bit of time to get up there and close Withers down. Here comes Carl Price. Carl Price. Ball in field to Vinacolo. Tackled by McGilvray. McNamara, it's Justin Harris, Brad Myers, Demetrio is there, so is Evans.
They know Wakefield and some of their careers on the line. Contracts are waiting.
The club's on the line, Steve-O.
They're fighting all the way through. This has been a wonderful effort. Okay, it's not been classic, but it's just been so tense.
It's exciting stuff. It really is. Deacon and Vangenaar and Deacon again. And here is Withers. And they are hauled down. They come wide to Marcus By. Still Wakefield stand firm on the last tackle. Newton, back it comes to Paul Deacon. He'll hoist the kick in. And that is knocked dead, and it will be a goal line dropout.
Oh, Deacon was looking for the post there. He nearly got it as well. Created all sorts of havoc. They just got a fingertip to it. They'll take their time.
Look what it means at the moment. This is how it stands. Castleford behind at Salford. Wakefield winning here. And Castleford and Wakefield to meet at Bellevue next weekend. I think I know where we're going, Steve-O. One day next weekend, if it stays like this.
Without a doubt.
This is Shontaine Harpy. 2.5 minutes to go.
I just don't know how this Wakefield side are getting back in numbers. It has been so disciplined as the one line of defence.
This is McKenna. Still Chris McKenna. He's hauled down. Terry Newton will have a scamper. He'll give it to Justin Harris. Somehow they hold him up. It comes back and they lose momentum. Knock on, says the referee. That could be the match for the Wildcats.
They will shift the 5 and then kick directly into touch. That's all they have to do. Nerves are jangling. This is where the professionalism comes out. The mind is going mad.
When you think
down.
John Keir has seen Jamie Rooney miss a couple of goal kicks tonight as well, it could have been a lot easier for Wakefield. But they'll take what they have here. Salford and Castleford about 5 minutes behind us, and Salford have edged ahead. We're going to keep a very close check on what's happening there. We've got Rod Studd at the Willows, and he's keeping us informed. We'll do the same for you. The Wakefield fans, the Wakefield players, John Keir and company don't know what's happening at the Willows. It doesn't really matter as far as they're concerned right now, because they have a lifeline. And they have fought for this. Ben Jeffries, tackle number 4. John Keir has done it again for Wakefield.
Another drive, and then the kick.
Latu. All they need to do surely is just dribble this ball into touch.
We'll try to get it downfield.
Oh, it's a shocker from Solomona.
What on earth are they doing?
Luckily they've got an 8-point gap.
It's virtually impossible now for the Bulls to drag this one out.
Deacon.
That's play on, it's hit a Wakefield hand.
Binacolo has it. Binacolo turns around. Salford have increased the lead at the Willows. I don't know whether we can stand another night like this down at Bellevue in a week's time. The ball has come free, it's a penalty.
McGilvray knew exactly what he was doing.
19 seconds.
He knew that that would eat up about 10 seconds by the referee blowing the whistle.
Here's McKenna, dumps it down to Deacon. Deacon gives it to Marcus By, and Henderson pulls him down. Listen to the Wakefield fans counting down to the end of the match. Not full time yet. Now it is. Wakefield have won. Wakefield have won at Bradford, the home of the champions, to give themselves hope in the battle to avoid the drop. Look what it means to the Wakefield fans. They don't know that Castleford are trailing at the Willows. They do now because we've just put up the score. What a night for Wakefield. And at this moment, it all comes down to Bellevue next week. John Keir's Wakefield against Terry Matterson's Castleford. Here's Bill with the man of the moment.
John, you're just about the calmest man in this dugout at the moment.
Well, we haven't achieved our objective. It was 4 wins out of 6. This is 3 out of 5, so we still one more to go.
You've been involved with some heroic backs-to-the-wall performances in your coaching career. This must match many of them.
It is. It's a fantastic performance, and you've got to credit the players and the squad in general. All the squad travelled over on the bus. There's a great togetherness throughout these people, and they're working very hard. And if you get that ingredient, you won't go far wrong.
Pretty shaky first 15 minutes maybe, 15-20 minutes, but once you got into the rhythm of what you were trying to achieve, you really didn't give them a sniff, did you?
No, defensive. The first 15 minutes were open, but the fact is there's a lot of pressure on, and they've handled it really well, and we've given ourselves a great opportunity on the last day of the season.
You've seen that scoreline up on the score. I don't know if you saw that. Salford winning 20 points to 16 at the moment. They're running a little bit behind us, but it's all going to come down to the final weekend by the look of things.
I'm hoping so, yeah, so come on the City Reds.
Thanks, John. I think the man of the match, Jason Dimitriou, is here. Jason, congratulations on a fantastic defensive performance. I mean, that is what's won you this tonight, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think we played better last week and the week before, but defence was outstanding tonight. The forwards were inspirational. I mean, David Solomona playing with half an arm, and Tavita Latu, Ned Caddick, all the forwards outstanding.
Now, John hinted there that the pressure was, you were under pressure, maybe felt it to start with tonight, certainly in the opening 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, we started a bit nervous, definitely, but once we got into a swing, they threw everything at us. I think we got some confidence out of holding them out, and then it was just all about half.
Well, we've lost Jason Dimitriou, sadly. Just lost communication to the microphone, but the man of the match is there, and Wakefield are still there. They are still in the Super League, and I think we've got the communication back. No, we can't, sorry. So we've heard all we can hear from Jason Dimitriou. I can tell you, I have just heard someone in the ether has told me that Salford have scored again against Castleford. David Hodgson with the try, 24-16, kick to come. They have beaten Castleford. Wakefield have beaten Bradford. Gentlemen, guess where we're going next weekend? We don't know where, we know where, but we don't know when. It's a decision for the Rugby League now. They have to decide whether it's Friday or Saturday that all this relegation business is sorted out. Because suddenly, Harlequins are in the mix if they don't beat Wigan. Suddenly, Huddersfield are in the mix if they don't beat the Catalan Dragons. We've never known anything like this. Well, you've only been concerned with what's happening at the top in your career.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you know, everything about in sport is consistency, and it's about attitude, and Wakefield's got that at the moment, and they've got it in abundance, and you'd really favour them at home next week with their home support. It's just gathering. I bet there's thousands saying I was there tonight, and you know, they're playing extremely well. Bradford, they've got some consistency problems. Their go forward's not as effective as it used to be. In rugby league, you need a 70% completion rate to be successful, and today they were well under 50% in both halves, and you're not going to compete in any game. But credit to Wakefield. Their defence has been outstanding since John Keir's turned up.
He has indeed. Monty Beetham is the Wakefield captain. It's his debut year. He's talking to Bill.
Well, your first season at Wakefield, it's going to be a dramatic one, that's guaranteed.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work up here at this end of the world, isn't it? But it was hard work tonight. We started pretty slowly, and Bradford had a lot to prove. They came out firing, and we absorbed a lot of pressure, and we came back with our own. And it's a class performance. And look at the back to all the fans over there. They've made sure that was possible. Great support, great work ethic from the team and the coaching staff, and great victory.
Was it nerves, that shaky start? You looked a little bit apprehensive, maybe.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's definitely nerves. We know it was an important game. The emotion was there, but we know we had to curb our emotion and use it for the good, not for the bad, as we had done in previous weeks. But never start, but we battle back well and play very good.
You're still alive. Well done tonight.
Yeah, we're still alive. I just want to say hello to my mum and dad back in New Zealand, and it's hard work here, but one more game to go.
Well done, Monty Beetham. All the Wakefield fans are waiting for this. Full time at the Willows. Salford have won 26 points to 16. It's all down to the last weekend at Bellevue. Wakefield beat Castleford 3 or 4 weeks ago at Castleford 18-0. And now Castleford have to go to the home of the Wildcats to survive, and after tonight, this is what it looks like. Well, Catalan forget them. Wakefield still bottom of the table, but they can now beat Castleford and make themselves safe. Harlequins have to beat Wigan. They have to beat Salford next week. Huddersfield, they have to really go to the south of France and win, and Wigan, of course, have to beat the Harlequins. At the top of the table, Bradford are fourth. We knew that before this game got underway. We know that St Helens have won the League Leaders' Shield. There's tears all round, tears of joy, tears of relief. And no, it's not Steve-O on the terrace. He's in here. He is in here with us.
That is some celebration.
But they cannot believe that this has happened. Remember when we were at Wakefield not long ago? John Keir was our guest, and they were chanting for John Keir to come as the Wakefield coach to save them. He is one match away from saving it.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I must say, Eddie, it was the biggest ad on TV that I've ever known, because I honestly believe that when I took it...
Almost exactly.